Twitch. It's a Flintstones reference.
Ah, okay.
Twitch. Do the Twitch. There was some... There we go. Okay, we have sound. All right, now broadcasting on Dementia Radio and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Jeff Whitmire's in the house, y'all!
Hey, everyone. How you doing tonight?
Welcome, Jeff. Why didn't it switch to you? You were totally loud enough. Do that again.
I don't know.
There you are.
Welcome, everyone. Are you on speaker view?
Yes, I am on speaker view. I'm normally on speaker view. It just works here. Welcome to episode 577 of the Funny Music Podcast for July 8th, 2021. Title of this week's show is So, Who's Up for Pointing at Things and Screaming? And your job is to figure out how to work that into our conversation. So, welcome to the show. I have a pre-recorded, not really an interview, just kind of a blurb from the Knuckleheadz for their song later in the show. But we do have Jeff Whitmire live on the show for the first time in a while, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes. You've gotten too good for us. I think that's the problem.
That's definitely not.
All right, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to? You too, huh?
Yeah. Earlier today, I had myself and Mr. Kyle had a wonderful luncheon with a soon-to-be attendee of FuMPFest 2021, the person we all know as Poohbear. So that was cool.
Oh, cool.
He's out here doing things and stuff. So yeah, we went to the restaurant formerly known as Not a Burger Stand, and we just hung out and talked and stuff. And I even brought my caricature implements so that I could do a caricature of one of the folks there. So that was neat. What else has gone on in the past week? Oh yeah, so we have recorded all of the segments for episode 200 of Kyle and Luke Talk About Tunes. One of our guests had to drop out, but that's okay because we got plenty with our other guests in the 3 segments we recorded, so that will be posting this coming Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't want to spoil anything, so I'll wait till the next episode to talk about some of the fun stuff that happened during that. And tonight, I got my ticket to see Black Widow at the movie theater.
Are you going tonight after the show?
Yep, tonight after the show, just like the old days.
Yeah.
Remember back when there were movies? So, yeah.
That was the last time I was on the show, I believe.
Right, I think so.
Yeah, so I already had my tickets for Black Widow and for Space Jam: A New Legacy, so I am psyched. And I've been preparing the apartment for the arrival this coming Saturday morning of Carrie and Alex Ann, so that should be some fun times.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna go to Disneyland, and it's gonna be fun. So
nice.
Yeah. So what's you been up to?
Well, I've been trying desperately to get my recording setup done. The recording booth under the stairs over there. I'm desperately trying to get it done because this whole area is like a disaster. It's a mess, and I'm sick of it, and I want to get this project done. And I had a second delivery of the soundproofing drywall delivered this week, and I realized that Lowe's text updates for their deliveries are strictly for entertainment purposes only. The drywall was supposed to arrive on Monday. I got a text saying it would come between 9 and 1. It didn't. Then about 1:30, I got a text saying it would come between 1 and 5. It didn't. And then on Tuesday, I got a text saying, good news, your drywall's been delivered. It wasn't. And then at about 10, I got another text saying that your drywall is going to be delivered between like 9 and 1. And then I got another text saying it's going to be delivered between like 10:30 and 2:30. I think they're just making up times at this point. And then somewhere around noon, the drywall actually arrived. And then about an hour later, I got a text from Lowe's saying that your drywall is out for delivery and we'll call you a half an hour before it arrives. So this was my experience. But I do have it now, and now I just need to find time to put it in because it's like I can't do it during the day because job. And then at night, it's like I take my son to swim practice every night now for I think it's for all of this month. And this isn't a local swim at the YMCA. This is over at Lake Mohawk, which is a half an hour away. So I, pretty much right after work, we eat dinner, and then I take him to swim, and I don't get back till 9:30. And by then it's, I'm not putting up drywall at 9:30 at night. So I'm probably not going to get a chance to do it until this weekend, and this weekend is going to be busy as hell for me. So I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to squeeze it in. In other news, for nobody's going to care, but I am up to Voyager on my Star Trek rewatch. I'm watching Star Trek in its original broadcast order. I've already gone through the original series. I've gone through and the movies. So as the movies come out, I've been watching all of those. So I've gone through Next Generation. I finished Next Gen. I watched Generations, the movie. And I'm up to season 3 of Deep Space Nine, and I've started Voyager again, and I realized I missed most of season 7 of Next Gen and most of season 2 of Deep Space Nine because that was my senior year of college, and I was doing crazy amounts of work that year. So I didn't have a lot of time to watch TV. So it was great. It was like all new Star Trek to me. And same thing with DS9, like going forward. I know there's like whole seasons of DS9 that I missed, so it's gonna be fun rewatching all of this. So Jeff, what have you been up to?
A little bit of everything. I switched jobs back in was it the beginning of last month? The job that I had last year during the pandemic was shut down and didn't know when things were going to change, so it became a little bit scary by the end of last year. So I finally said I've got to bail. So I switched back to what I was doing before, which was a residential supervisor in a group home for adults with disabilities. But things had definitely changed during the pandemic. So I reached one of those scary points in my life where here I am, 44 years old, and I'm like, I think I just need to switch. I didn't have time to do anything. I didn't have time to do music. I didn't have time, I was to spend with my kids or anything, so I reached a very miserable point. Not to make light of it, but I was like, it was one of those, for the first time in a long time, I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like waking up, and I talked to my wife, and she said, you are miserable. This is killing you. And so I put a 4 weeks notice in thinking I had some options, and they fell apart, and for a brief span of time I was unemployed. I was in the void. I was like, oh no. But I know it was scary, like to be, I've never not had a job in a long time, and it was weird. So I just was plugging away interviews, applications, and everything, and did find a job at the beginning of June. Started. I'm loving it. It's a very 9 to 5-y type thing. So I leave at the end of the day, unlike what I was doing. And actually, I think one of the casts that I missed was because I got stuck at work at that previous job, and I couldn't do that. And I was like, I don't like this. I want to be able to do stuff like this. And so it's been great. I come home at a good time. I can spend time with the kids, play, and then I have time to work on music or do some of the other stuff I enjoy doing with my life. So that's what I've been doing. And in the meantime, just kind of switched over to a little bit of a new genre in my music, and we talked a little bit about this last year, and it kind of stuck. I've been kind of being the Weird Al of horror music, I guess, horror movies.
Yes.
So
speaking of which, so you posted a song. So give us a quick intro, and we'll give it a listen. Actually, we'll play the video for your song.
Okay, cool. So this is an original song. I guess you could call it a campfire song. I wanted to write a Friday the 13th song, one of my favorite series. keeping in the genre. So I've been trying to switch between parodies and originals, and I sat down with the guitar one day and came up with the song. And it's basically, let's say, 2 camp counselors are falling in love, and they just happen to be doing it at Camp Crystal Lake, which is never going to end well. So this is a love theme from Friday the 13th.
There it is.
We were camp counselors in love in the woods of New Jersey, and went swimming in the Buff, though this may not end well. We were careless and bored and feeling horny as hell. I think we're safe and this camp's a drag, so come get banged in my sleeping bag. It seems the last mistake that we're ever gonna make was having our first date at Camp Crystal Lake. The water's great and the moon's aglow for our night of love. Yeah, I'm sure that we're alone. You wrapped me in a psychic haze. I was a scrappy beefy jock without an Oedipus complex. You said there's just one of me in this world. I said you'll always be my final girl. Who knew the last mistake that we're ever gonna make was having our first date at Camp Crystal Lake. The night got darker and I felt the fear as we braced against the wind. I held you close and whispered in your ear, please save my bacon. You ran screaming into the woods as you tore our love apart. Was it you or the machete that finally broke my heart? Will it be that the end of me could feel a paper bag, or camouflaged or in a hockey mask, or a psycho hag? Goodbye, my love, I wish you well, even though you left me here and got your ass out of this hell. But I fear you to our fort, 'cause I just saw you escape aboard a boat bound for New York. Take Manhattan. Now it's clear that our love is dead. We probably should have done our jobs instead, 'cause now the last mistake that we're ever gonna make was having our first date at Camp Crystal Lake. Oh yeah, the last mistake that we're ever gonna make was having our first date at Camp Crystal Lake.
Excellent.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with that one.
I can tell. I love all the like subtle little references you got in there, like "save your bacon." You know, it's obviously a Kevin Bacon reference.
Yeah. Yeah, banged in your sleeping bag.
The sleeping bag.
You know, one of the kill.
one of the most famous kills in the entire series is that sleeping bag kill.
It was either going to be that or the liquid nitrogen, but I didn't really find a way I wanted to tie that into the lyrics, so I did sneak it into the video clip. But so yeah, between those two it was
that sleeping bag kill. I saw Kane Hodder, who played Jason, in that version 7 talk about that kill, because apparently that was one of the scenes that got cut down by the MPAA. They didn't like that it was so violent, because apparently there was it a girl or a guy in the sleeping bag? It was a girl in the sleeping bag. And Jason, for those who haven't seen the movie, he picks her up and whacks her against a tree, and apparently in the original version he whacks her like 5 or 6 times, and then the sleeping bag gets all bloody and stuff. And he said that, like, yeah, they cut this scene down, but I don't think they, I think it's still just as effective, because he just whacks her once against the tree and she drops dead.
Yeah, I think it really kind of goes to show, like, Jason's inhuman strength at that point, that it was just like that one whack and then boom. So yeah, I've seen the uncut version, or the deleted scene with it too, and it's pretty brutal. But that one whack kill is. And I wanted, like I said, with a lot of the stuff I've been doing now, I've been intentionally trying to bridge the two gaps between the comedy music world that got me where I am today, that I love and I've been supportive, and the horror world. And so I'm always trying to bridge that gap a little bit. So I've been doing it in a way like, let's pick styles of music, or if I'm doing a parody, let's pick a song that nobody would guess that would be a horror parody, and trying to kind of blend it a little bit so it's fun. So, taking that that extreme kill and then making obviously what is an innuendo joke.
Yeah. But I love that this is such like a happy little song about Camp Crystal Lake and where everybody dies,
I think the intent that I really wanted it to be was I wanted it to sound like we're all sitting around a campfire and someone pulls out their guitar, which is just a simple way of saying I didn't want to pay for a big arrangement. But no, I just wanted it to be, it was like someone pulls out the guitar, that sleepaway camp kind of thing, and they're just playing the.
This definitely has like a sitting around the campfire type vibe to it,
Yeah, so when I was doing the video for it, I really wanted to, and I'm still kind of getting used to playing the guitar and doing all those things at once. So, but I wanted it to be like, we're the last mistake that we're ever gonna, and just have it be very bouncy and upbeat, like everyone's just sitting around singing it. It was one of those things too where I did not, I was like, well, that's not enough. So I wanted to, I love doing harmonies, so I wanted to see, let's see what we could do with the harmonies. So obviously I did harms in the chorus and some little things there. And I'm like, what can I do in the verses? And I started doing those little and tried. I was like, well, it's got to have the So I tried to tie that into the vocals, and then I said, yeah, it needs some percussion though too. How do I do the percussion without doing a track? I'm like, well, that's the obvious answer. So I did the percussion as, and I just kept that going. And there were a few spots where it poked through, and I'm like, I like that.
Yeah, that works. That works great. So very cool. So what is your? I grew up with the Friday the 13th movies, and they were part of what got me into horror movies. Yeah. So like, what's your experience with the Friday the 13th movies? Like, what's your favorite, like either kill or movie or whatever?
Sure, yeah. I mean, how long do you got?
I got all night. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Get me started talking about horror movies. No, I get started.
Black Widow starts in 3 hours, so
yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So there is a timeline on this. No, it was actually one of my earliest ones. My parents were not opposed to me watching horror movies, and they had a rule. They had to be in the room and everything, and be present. And that's been my rule with my kids. My kids started early in horror, and that's been a discussion I've had with people. But so I remember Halloween was the first movie I ever watched, the original '78. Mm-hmm. I remember watching like Friday the 13th, like 3, 4, the first ones early on at a very young age.
Yeah.
And it was just a part of growing up. Now, my brother had 6 on a VHS in his room, and I used to he used to have all the horror movies in his room, and he was, had 6 years my elder. So I thought I was such a rebel. I would sneak into his room when he wasn't there if he was working, and I would be popping in his horror movies and watching them. And 6 to me is the standout. I love them, and as much as I love Kane Hodder, and he's not Jason in 6, and I don't want to upset Kane because I see what happens when you do that. But I've seen Holliston, and 6 to me was kind of the fun one. It's the one. It's like the sleek, glossy rock one. It even starts with like a parody of James Bond, where he throws the knife at the through the hole, and so
that was the one with the rockin' theme song. Who did that? Was like Dokken or one of those bands?
No, that you're thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
No. But there was a song called "He's Back," the man behind the mask.
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, that's who it was. Okay.
And actually, we'll do it next. I debated which song was going to go on the FuMP this time because I did another song right after this that I'm really, really proud of, and I was hesitant to put it out there. But that song was actually styled after the Alice Cooper songs in Friday the 13th and also the one in Wayne's World. So because I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan, if that's any surprise to anyone.
Not a bit, no.
You think, you're a horror movie fan. What music do horror fans listen to? Cooper's going to come up. Rob Zombie, obviously, but yeah. Alice Cooper did the "He's Back," and I listened to that a lot while I was writing the next song.
Jeff, do you have Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus, yes.
So, just so you know, Alice.
I wrote a WandaVision song.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that Alice Cooper hosted an episode of The Muppet Show. So
I remember that. It was I always tie that into that weird Green Face album that he did because they came out around the same time. I think it was Goes to Hell. But I remember that he sings a duet with Miss Piggy, doesn't he? If I remember.
Yeah. Well, he sings a duet with like like a monstery looking Muppet, and then at the very end, it's like he turns to the monster and it's like, or like something happens and it's like, Miss Piggy, you're needed on set, and then the monster like gets up and it starts talking and it has the voice of Miss Piggy, so it's like he changed Miss Piggy into a monster or whatever. But I remember seeing Brian Henson do an interview that basically said that right about the time that the Muppet Show started getting the reputation of being like wholesome, welcoming family entertainment, that was when Jim said, "Let's get Alice Cooper on the show," because that's the way Jim was. It's oh, you're gonna pigeonhole me as kid stuff? Get me
the guy that literally cuts off his head on stage. Let's bring him on.
Bring me the man named Alice.
And he does a ballad too. He does like a slow ballad, and I think that, which is funny because Alice Cooper can do ballads. He does that thing. So that's yeah. I do
how many people
that.
how many people are connected to both a Friday the 13th movie and the Muppet Show?
That's
many.
Yeah, not many. I don't think.
I think one.
Not even Corey Feldman.
Not even Corey.
But there is horror on Disney Plus. Mr. Boogedy is on Disney Plus. If anyone wants to watch that.
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town.
Maybe
yes.
Alice Cooper will be in this this fall. There's going to be a special on Disney Plus, Muppets Haunted Mansion. So maybe he'll be on that.
Maybe, yeah. He's like 79 now, but he's still. When I was watching a lot of Cooper to inspire the next one, which is also an original. And I looked at, he's like 79. I saw a live show, and like the dude is still rocking. I'm like, I want to rock like you do when I was 79.
Yeah. My parents went to see Chubby Checker perform live when he was in his late 70s, and he was still doing like, the playing guitar and doing that kick across the stage on one leg that he did. And my father's like, this guy's pushing 80, and he's doing this. Yeah, I want to be able to do that when I'm that age.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to be able to sell tickets to a show when I'm that age and get people out to see me, but that's another story. So yeah, with Friday the 13th, I like all the movies. I'm partial to Part 4, just because it is so brutal. It's some of the kills in that, and just Jason's attitude. The whole thing is it's a brutal movie. I got a soft spot in my heart for Part 7 too, because I thought that was very creative with the.
Yes, I like how they twisted it up. I actually defend that a lot because people are like, "Oh, it's just the same old thing over and over," and I'm like, "No, it's not. They do try and mix it up." I mean,
I thought Part 7 was very creative, and I loved Part 8 because of the humor, obviously.
Yeah.
And Part 9 was the only one I really kind of don't like, because it really wasn't Jason for most of it.
It wasn't. No, it was like the spirit that inhabits people.
It was his heart bouncing from person to person, which I thought was dumb.
Which is kind of what I was hinting at when I said the camouflage line, like because I wanted to try and tie in as many of the movies as I could, either in the song or in the videos, because I have a soft spot for all of them. But when I do the line, a hockey mask camouflaged psycho hag, I was trying to reference all the different iterations. And 5 you could kind of say was a camouflage Jason too, because in 5 it wasn't Jason either. But
you know what's funny about 5? When 4 came out in the theater. We were making fun of it because I was like, oh my god, Part 4 of a movie series, because back then there weren't a lot of sequels that went up that high, so we were like, my god, Part 4, they call it the final chapter. And then Part 5 came out soon enough after Part 4 that they were both still in theaters in my area, because I remember looking at the newspaper, and there's the ad for Part 4, the final chapter, and right next to it is Part 5, a new beginning, and I'm like, well, this is going to go on forever.
Which, looking back now, that's like you can't even believe if a series says it's the final. It never.
No, it never is. And
the final destination. Anyway, here's the next one.
Right, and it's not even close to the movie with the most sequels either, because the Amityville movies are over 20 at this point.
They are insane, man. Yeah, and they've all been direct to video since like the 4th one. But
and most of them I haven't seen hardly any of them, but I've heard most of them are terrible.
They are, but they're pretty bad. And Puppet Master secretly has been pumping out movies too. That whole series with the little puppets. Full Moon Entertainment. We actually were just live tweeting a few of those the other day. They've gone on forever. Halloween's trying to get up there too, though.
Yeah, they are. But they're kind of doing the reboot thing too. I don't know.
They just can't stick to a timeline. I love Halloween, but they just can't stick to one timeline. But but if you haven't watched the new ones, like check it out. Like the last one that came out, the 2018 one. First of all, it's a really great homage to the original one.
That was the Rob Zombie directed one, right?
No. Actually,
No?
there's one since then.
Okay, I haven't seen that then.
Yeah, so Rob Zombie did his 1 and 2. Now there's another reboot that started in 2018. This one was an homage. Jamie Lee Curtis came back. It's really good.
That's right. I heard about that. Yes,
yeah.
but I did not see that.
Now the next one, Kills, is coming out in October.
Now, is that part of the zombie timeline or the original timeline?
Nope, that's part of the new timeline.
Okay.
So the timeline they're doing now actually skips everything else, including almost the second one, which is weird.
Oh, that's right, because like the new Jamie Lee Curtis movie, like it's like a sequel to the first one, and it ignores everything else.
It ignores everything else. It's
Okay.
a direct sequel to that one. Jamie Lee Curtis has had a daughter in this timeline that she raised to be a survivalist, and she left and hates, can't stand her mother, and she now has a granddaughter, and so Jamie Lee Curtis is like living in the woods with like all this crazy survivalist Y2K stuff going on. Yeah. When of course Michael Myers escapes, and I was really
Wait a minute, no, I have seen that. I have seen that.
Yeah, like the institution truck flips and
yeah. And there was like a basement, like a hidden basement or something.
She had the hidden basement. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, I have seen that.
So they are now doing. Now the next one that comes out is going to take place right after that.
Okay.
So it's going to continue that storyline.
You need like a diagram.
I'm going to meet
get
the guy. You need to. Yeah, because 3. Where do you put 3 in this? I tweeted the other day, and I didn't expect it to do so well. I said I want to believe there's some sort of dimension out there. No pun intended, since Dimension released a lot of them. That there's a dimension out there where all the Halloween storylines actually exist in one cohesive timeline. Like, if someone could figure that out.
There is. That's the Cabin in the Woods timeline.
That's right.
But what I heard about the Halloween movies was that it was supposed to be a new movie every Halloween. A new horror movie that would come out every Halloween that were unrelated to each other. So the first one was the original Halloween, and that did so well they made a sequel to it. And then for part 3, they went back to the original idea to do something different. So they did.
Which is why nobody gives 3 a chance, but 3 is a good movie.
Yeah, I think 3 is a good movie.
3. I love 3.
But it didn't do well, so they went back to the Michael Myers bit for part 4, and then the rest is history.
If they would have stuck to the plan, I think 3 might have done better. If they would have done Halloween and then 3 would have been the second one, I think maybe.
Yeah, or
that would have worked better.
If they had done a different story for part 2,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that was what Carpenter wanted to do. Well, he wanted to do like one, and I think he even said at one point he wanted to do one for each holiday. So like a Christmas movie, a Thanksgiving movie, like. He had a weird, ambitious plan for what he wanted to do with it.
What did he want to do for Arbor Day?
Arbor Day?
The Arbor Day Massacre.
That became M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening.
Oh, right, yes.
No.
Happy little trees.
Happy little trees.
So yeah, I could talk horror movies all night with you.
Yeah, me too.
But Luke's got a movie to. So, is there anything else you want to talk about, or anything you want to plug?
So I will be doing one of my go-tos. If you like horror, first of all, if you like watching horror movies, get Shudder. Obviously, that's step one. Mm-hmm. And season 3 of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs just ended. Season 4 has been announced. So if you do like horror, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. We actually Friday nights. Bless you.
Thank you.
Friday nights we watch Joe Bob Briggs show 2 movies, and he's a smart, funny guy, and he talks about the movies, he narrates them. And I did a song about that, about growing up a horror fan and being alienated, which is a true story, and a lot of us were. And so I wanted to, and finding a place to belong. So I have that song that's going to be coming out next. That's on my YouTube. I'm really proud of that one. I just did a Final Destination parody. Kind of under the radar because I didn't get it professionally mixed or anything. I tried to do it myself, but that's a parody to Celebration. That's on my channel. That's a lot of fun. It basically just goes through every single Final Destination kill.
Ooh,
and it
ambitious, aren't you?
You check it out. It's like I said, it's a rough mix, and I admit that. But lyrically, I'm really proud of it. But the video, I didn't even put myself in it. I basically just show every kill in Final Destination. And Jeffrey Reddick, who wrote and created the original Final Destination, retweeted it and loved it. So I was like, that was like the highlight so far.
Nice.
But yeah, so the idea now is I'm really enjoying and loving doing the horror movie stuff, and so I am going to do an album of horror movie songs. It was going to be just parodies. Now it's become originals and parodies. It's going to be produced again by Austin Ashleman, of course. I do have a fun one coming out. The next one's coming out is not one you would expect from me, but it's got a great cast of people. It was suggested. I wrote it. I loved it. So keep an eye out for that one. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun and very universal. You don't have to be a horror fan to like this next one.
All right, so we're going to move on to news and the other song. You're welcome to stick around if you'd like. If you have better things to do, you can take off. Not going to be long. The other interview was like a minute and a half. So. Okay, so
I wish they were here too because I love that song.
Let's do some news.
This is the FuMP.
Only people with too much time on their hands do jury duty. Only people who've got no significant plans do jury duty. I got places to go and people to see, not stuck with some upright citizenry. It might do it for you, but it doesn't for me, not jury duty. Don't wanna brush my teeth, don't wanna brush my hair. Just wanna watch TV
in my Minecraft underwear.
Don't wanna clean my room, don't wanna.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Without guilt or shame. Don't hate the player,
hate the video game.
don't wanna take my pants, don't wanna pull on the shirt. I don't wanna eat dinner, I just want dessert.
Yelling from the portal in my dryer where all the socks go. There's a hole in space at the back of my dryer. Travels to some place with a piece of my attire, and the situation has grown pretty dire. I'm about to run out of socks.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, Confluence is coming up, and Kenny Young and the Eggplants just announced they're going to be performing. This is happening Saturday, July 24th. Kenny Young's performance is at 4 p.m. This is a virtual concert series. The Zoom links will be posted on their website, which is confluence-sff.org for science fiction and fantasy. Confluence-sff.org. Also appearing that weekend virtually, Amy Englehart, the Gothsicles, Kirby Crackle, and many, many more. So check it out. It's going to be a fun weekend. FuMPFest update. Clearly Guilty will not be performing at FuMPFest this year. I screwed up. So what happened was we booked everybody for 2020. COVID happened. We canceled. After FuMPFest, the virtual FuMPFest 2020, I reached out to all the artists and I said, do you want to perform in 2021, assuming it happens in person? And one by one, they all said yes, and I wrote it down. I wrote them down as confirmed, and I apparently wrote down, I put my little confirmation checkbox in the wrong row, and I confirmed Clearly Guilty before they were confirmed. So I added them to the website, and then they emailed me last week and were like, hey, we noticed we're on the website. We're not actually performing yet. So they will not be joining us. Instead, Carrie Dalby will be filling the slot.
Yay, Carrie Dalby. Woo!
Welcome, Carrie Dalby, back to FuMPFest. As a reminder, online registration and the hotel room and the video contest deadline is July 31st, if you'd like to get in on any of that nonsense. Luke Ski sale still going on?
Yep, I did do one sale this week, so yay!
All right,
If you'd like to own Greatest Hits Volume 2, the 2 CD set, which is over 2.5 hours of my biggest hits from 2004 to 2009, you can get it for $5 by going to lukeski.bandcamp.com/merch.
All right. You got anything else before tour dates?
Well, I did finally get a new Luke Ski update sent off after like 6 months. So let me just scan through this real quick to see if there's anything that we haven't already reported upon. Let's see. There is I guess I'll go around and post this on my socials media, so by the time most people hear this, it'll be up for people to see. I storyboarded a second cartoon of the D-Tunes series of the character Conroy Cat called What You Got. And in that version, or in this particular thing that they do, they take the character Conroy Cat and people make suggestions to it of things from pop culture that Conroy Cat could have, like, some item, and then he does something with it. Like, one of the ones I previously was the cleanup border on was a Mario Galaxy launch star. So one of the suggestions they got was for the Despicable Me fart gun. So I ended up being the principal storyboarder of the fart gun episode that they wrote, and they put that up. So I will go grab the YouTube link to that and put it up on my social media so you all can find it and see the boarding I did and for that particular thing. So what else? Anything else? Yeah, like I said before, be on the lookout this Sunday for episode 200 of Conlu Talk About Tunes. It's going to be epic. And now back to you.
All right, tour dates. On Thursdays online, Steve Goody. On the 9th in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Nuclear Bubble Wrap. On the 9th online, Carla Ulbrich. On the 10th in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Nuclear Bubble Wrap. On the 13th in Rohnert Park, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And on the 16th online, Mikey Mason. All right, second song this week is by the Knuckleheadz. Here is When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Teen Titan.
Good morning, boys and girls. I'm your teacher, Mr. Sticky. I want to know what you want to be when you grow up. You there. What you want to be when you grow up?
I'm going to be an R&B singer.
Well, that's dumb. You in the back with them baby hands. What you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a Teen Titan.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan for life.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
I want to be like Robin the leader. He ain't got superpowers, but he's a true rock beater. Trained by Batman, tower under his command. You can call him Mr. Butt,
But don't call him baby hands.
I want to be like Beast Boy. Eat burritos and waffles, fighting gives him the least joy.
Yes,
He can turn to a gorilla or a hen if he could only turn himself into Raider's boyfriend.
Ow.
I want to be like Cyborg.
Booyah.
Provide the Titans with weapons galore, chainsaws,
Twice.
and the greatest of all, a blaster on his arm that can shoot meatballs. Hanging with a girl in the hood, yeah, that's Raven. Power scarier than anything by Wes Craven. And Starfire is the sweetest rock, with the love of the sparkles and the kittens.
Da, da, da.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan for life.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
From Jump City and the Tube to Fight, the Hive and Trigon. It's not the light, from zeros to heroes, into awesome for awful.
Waffles, waffles, waffles.
We gotta hang with Bob Dugan, and I can't believe that they can hang with De La Soul.
You can't join the Justice
Even
League.
after the auditions, man, I can't even handle. His Cyborg sings a Wonder Woman.
Right with flicking angel.
No, when I say pie, then you say pie. Can't forget Sticky Joe, he's my favorite guy.
That Sticky Joe is not a Teen Titan.
Yeah, but he's my favorite, and I wish he was my best friend.
Stinks.
Did you just fart on the singer?
Sound but deadly. Deafin' engine of a ninja.
True, Teen Titan's the greatest of all time. This song is even better than The Night Begins to Shine.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight. Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan for life. Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan for life.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan for life.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Alright, Jax. Any other Teen Titans references you want to throw in this song before we finish?
80s jerks.
Oh, yeah. 80s jerks are the
And
worst.
especially the karate jerks.
Right? Stupid 80s jerks. Please.
Baby, I can do it. I know I'll be a Teen Titan tonight.
It's hard to not make fun of my face in the video. Wait, that when it happens, get on cam like so funny.
Oh, hey there. Didn't know anybody was watching.
Hi.
It's just us, the
Where'd you come
Knuckleheadz.
from?
We're just watching our own video because that's
Where'd you
what
come
we do.
from? Get the heck away.
We just like to watch our own videos because they're awesome. And yeah.
Or at least some of them are. I mean, most of them are. I meant most.
So what's up, Funny Music Podcast? This Funny Music Project. This is Old Dirty Dada. And this is my homeboy,
Hello.
Grandmaster Jax. Sorry we're not on the actual Funny Music podcast, but I hope you enjoy our song that's now on the Funny Music Project.
Okay, now shoot.
Now when I grow up, I want to
It's
be...
been exactly 56 seconds, now shoot.
Kids. Peace! Hope you like our song, Gia! Oh my freaking God, you guys. I just walked in my kitchen and I see a celebrity sitting at my kitchen table. This is crazy, you guys. Check this out. It's freaking Grandmaster Jax sitting at my kitchen table making a board game. Oh my God, this is freaking amazing.
Where'd you come from?
So, Grandmaster Jax, can you tell me about your new Knuckleheadz song?
Nah.
What's the name of it?
It's called When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Marker.
You want to be a marker, okay. Well, I like the song you did, When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Teen Titan. That was
we
great.
never made that.
We never made that? That song doesn't exist?
No.
Oh.
Or it does exist, but it's not by us at least.
Oh, okay.
Because it's popular, so.
Oh, I
That's why
gotcha.
it's not
Okay,
by
it is
us.
super popular.
And that's why it's not by us.
It's got like 100 plays on YouTube. That's what I
Yeah.
hear.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Joaquin Lopez wrote, "Get Martini Eldritch on the show." I looked up this artist. I'm not familiar with them. I don't know if it's a individual or a group, but it appears to be an instrumental artist. They're very experimental and kind of weird, but I don't think they're comedy. But really, if anybody knows any artists who you think would be good for the FuMP, just send them our way. Just point them to the FuMP.com. We have a submit button right there in the blue column on the right hand side. Anybody can submit a song to us, and we'll give it. We'll be happy to give it a listen. So yeah. Eclectic Lee wrote, FuMPCast number 576, in which Sea Monkey spills all the secret identities. No doubt Bad Beth and the Cog will make short work of him soon. Yes, no doubt. And that's all the feedback we got.
Can I just say something about the Knuckleheadz song?
Feel free.
As awesome as that song is, and first of all, I absolutely adore the Knuckleheadz. I think they're phenomenal. He came out of nowhere and just rocked the world.
Yeah, really
I loved it. Really, really good. But not only is that song great, but it also shouts out Wes Craven. So
there you go. Yeah,
I gotta say that's a bonus right there.
Yeah, it would be awesome if Knuckleheadz did a song about Mighty Magiswords, but they probably haven't seen it all. It's almost as if some other show kept being shown over and over again in plates,
oh no.
Mighty Magiswords, that kept them from seeing it. Teen Titans Go is a very funny show. Yeah.
It just got really shady in this room.
Man, Teen Titans Go to the Movie. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is a hilarious movie.
It is.
I love that. It's a really good movie.
It's a huge spoof of basically all the superhero movies, DC, Marvel, whatever. It's just it's so good.
Yeah, I got it for my son for Christmas or something, and we watched it. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
But the final line that Robin says just before it cuts to the closing credits is one of the funniest final lines of a movie I've ever heard in my life. I was laughing out loud so hard at that. Oh, anyway. So.
All right, let's do some teasing.
Yeah. Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. All right, tomorrow's song is by Mikey Mason. And Tuesday's song is by the Belle Isle Rats. And next week's Spotify playlist topic is wrong style songs. So these are like cover songs done in a very different style than the original. So look forward to that. All right, Jeff, plug yourself one more time.
Yes, my name is Jeff Whitmire. You can find me at jeffwhitmire.bandcamp.com, and also my YouTube channel where I put all the videos is Jeff Whitmire 47.
And the Knuckleheadz are online at, I believe, knuckleheadz.bandcamp.com, and that's Knuckleheadz with a Z. And that, as they say, is a show. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski. And Jeff Whitmire.
Thank you for listening
Have a good night,
to
everyone.
the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Knuckleheads, that's what's up!